I would like us to turn this to us as men, and to turn this to us as families. And you see, God want to rescue your family. God want to rescue your life. God want to rescue your marriage. Put yourself there. But little bit of the background is that there was an oppression on my marriage. There was an oppression on my family. There was an oppression on my personal life. And this oppression, it happens that it has to reach God at some point, because of the covenant that the Lord had. And one of the interesting thing here is that there is a time that God has set, and when that time or that season has come, it really doesn't matter how threatened my marriage is, how threatened my life is, how danger my personal life, my marriage, my family could be in. But there is this time when the Lord has made up that this is my son, this is my children, and I have made a promise that I would save his marriage. And what is really important here is the positioning of me, that I am in that state where I will allow him to save my marriage, to save my life, to save my children, my family. And we see that what is really interesting on the scriptures, from the first chapter of Exodus, is how God has multiplied the people that were oppressed. There are things that we can take them lightly. And I want you to look at your life, look at your family, look at yourself. That when you are crying so much, when you see things are not working on your behalf, on your favor, but there are these certain things that people don't see them. You see, because the Bible says that when they were oppressed, working without any compensations, when they were not getting anything in return, the Lord was multiplying them. So there was this increasing of the number of Israels, that they didn't see that. But the opposite, the enemy, could see that these people would be able to overcome us. So I want to put my family, I want to put my marriage into that space, that as far as I see that maybe I'm jobless, or there is an area that I feel like it's not being succeed in such a way, but there are some areas that the Lord is pushing. It is taking me to the promise, to where he has promised my marriage to be. But for the fact that my eyes are only looking at the finances, so it makes me to forget about these other areas, that indeed the Lord is preparing my family to a better. I'll give you an example of, you are taking your children to a better schools, but because they have not graduated yet, or they have not completed their studies, or they have not got the job or started the business that they planned to, so you cry to a point where you don't see the presence and the rescuing of God in your life. But in this instant, the Lord was increasing them in preparation for the future. So then during that time, we know the story about how Pharaoh started to eliminate the number of men's child or sons. The sons were started to be killed so that they can reduce the number, because they were afraid of this. But then now,